Students, today we'll be seeing the 10th program of your syllabus, that is develop a React code to collect data from REST API. So here you can see we have to create a React application here. So whenever it is creating a React application, remember the command npx create React app. You have to give this command followed by name of the app. So in my case I've given the app name as my app. Okay, once after this is done, then you have to go inside the app. So to go inside the app, you're giving the command cd. Okay, so remember this thing, for React app you have to give npx create React app followed by name of the app. Okay, so while giving you the document, I've also mentioned about index.js. So remember one thing, you don't have to modify anything in index.js, or another way you can just skip off this part of the code. Okay, so this part you can just skip off, not required. So we are just worried about app.js. So we'll go into Visual Studio and see how it is created. Okay, so we'll go over here. First of all, I'll create a new folder, program 10 video. So I've created a new folder which is named as P10 video. Now I'll go to the terminal. I'll create a new terminal. So in the terminal, so let us use the command prompt terminal. So first of all, what we have to do, as I told, it is React app. So npx create React app followed by name of the app. So I will give the name of the app as my app. Okay, so once you have given this much, the installation process goes on. So you can see that my app folder has been created, and inside this currently package.json is there. Still the installation process is continuing. Okay, you can see the installation process has been completed. You can see some of the dependency that has got installed over here, which is as of now not required for us. Okay, so now currently we are inside the folder, so we'll go inside our app. So for that we have to give the command cd followed by app name. So the name of my app is my app. Okay, so as I told you in the beginning, I had also given you about index.js, so you need not worry about that. You can just skip off that part. Okay, so we'll directly deal with app.js. Okay, so in app.js currently there is some code that is a default code, so we don't require that. We will put in our code here. We'll save. Okay, so we'll see the program now. So what is our program? Our program is React code to collect data from REST API. So this REST API, or REST, stands for Representational State Transfer. So these APIs are widely used by applications whenever they want to exchange data, especially over the internet. So these REST APIs use standard HTTP methods like get, post, put to perform their actions on resources. Okay, so we'll just go ahead with the Visual Studio part. Okay, so yes, I have my app.js. So first thing what we will be doing over here, we will be importing few modules. That is what we can see in our first line. So first of all, import React from the React library. So React here is nothing but the core React library, which is usually in the sense which is required for building our user interface. Okay, next we have useState. Again, useState we are importing from the React library. So these use states are mainly used to manage the states. So initially the state might be empty, but during the course of execution it might be having some data. So to store and update, in our case, in this particular program, you can say to store and update the list of employees, you require this use state. Next comes use effect. Again, you're importing from the React library. So this is mainly required to perform actions once our React component gets loaded. Okay, so that is about a use effect, which are getting which imported from our React library. Next, what we have is Axios. So these Axios, so you are also importing Axios from the Axios library, which is required to perform HTTP request. Okay, so for HTTP client for the browser, as well as and you can also say for Node.js also. But here in the sense we can say to perform HTTP request we require this Axios. Okay, I hope this part is clear. Next we have our data collector. So this is nothing but the functional React component called as data collector. Okay, next inside this, what is the first part we are speaking about? So we have a state variable. So we are creating a state variable called as data, which is initially an empty array. Okay, so here this is nothing but your data is a state variable which is initialized to empty array. So during the course of execution we have this set data function which is going to update the value into our state variable. So later on during the course of execution it will be having, in this particular program it will be having the list of employee names. Okay, so it will be used to update. So whenever we get the list of employees which are fetched, the API is going to fetch the list of employees, then it is getting, will be get stored in this data array. Okay, so this is about the state variable creation. Okay, next comes the use effect. So once the component, your functional React component gets mounted or initially in the beginning, so use effect will be running. So inside the use effect, what do we have? First of all, we have a fetch data function, and along with that we also have an empty dependency array, which makes sure that the use effect, that is, it is running at least once. Okay, which makes sure it runs instead of at least, you can say it runs only once. So automatically what happens is fetch data, use effect is going to call this fetch data whenever your React component gets mounted. Okay, so this is about your use effect, which is calling fetch data, and it is also having a dependency array or an empty dependency array, which is making sure that use effect runs only once. Okay, next comes your fetch data, which gets invoked from here. Okay, so fetched data, so this is asynchronous function. It uses sync and await for handling asynchronous operation. So you have the API call, which is going to make a get request to a dummy employee API endpoint. So this is your endpoint wherein a get request is made. Okay, so when the get request is made, what is going to happen? A response will be coming in. So here you can also see there is Axios, right? So as we told, Axios is used to make HTTP request. So here in this case, Axios dot get, so it sends a HTTP get request to the URL. So our URL here in this case is dummy REST API example. So Axios.get is going to make a HTTP get request to the particular URL whatever you have mentioned, and the await, what we have written here. So it pauses the execution until the Axios is going to return you some data. Okay, so Axios has made the HTTP request to fetch the data from this particular URL. Until you get some response from this particular URL, this await, what does it do is, it is going to pause, or another way, it's not going to move ahead. So it's going to wait until you get some response. Okay, So response you have got here, that is response dot data. What you can see here, response dot data, wherein you will be having the request. Request is a response that is coming from this particular website. So set data. What does set data? So as we told in the beginning, data and set data. Data is an empty array. Set data is a function which is going to update this, right? So here you can say, in other way you can say, state update is going to happen, which is going to extract the data part from the response, okay, and it is going to update your data array. So during this course, error handling is also checked over here. In case there is any error, then how you can handle it? This console saying error in fetching the data. Okay, so that is about how you can fetch the data from a particular URL. Okay, so you have await, which is making sure that your process has been paused until you get some response. Axios.get, that is used to perform the HTTP GET request. You have to pass the particular URL. Okay, so this is about it. Next, what happens? The rendering part. We will see the rendering part. So we have a heading, just a heading saying data collection. Okay, you have a title. Then you have a button called as fetch data. So what does it do? When you click on this, it manually triggers the API call. Okay, it triggers the API call. So it is going to map. So here data.map is nothing but it is going to map over the data array to create. You can see here, this is an unordered list, UL, it's an unordered list, and LI is nothing but a list item, right? So it is going to map over your data array to create list items. So what are the contents of list item? Item dot employee name. So this is going to display the employee names from the that is which the API has fetched the data, right? So from that, employee names gets displayed. Okay, so this is your program. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now we'll see how to run this program. So since this is a React app, we'll just give npm start. So port is already been installed. I'll give yes. So it will be running in a different port. Okay, I'll give allow here. It is related to PowerShell. So in my case, it's running in port 3002. Okay, there is an error here for Axios. So I need to install Axios. Okay, so if you're getting Axios, npm install Axios. So installation of Axios is happening. Okay, now again I'll give the same command, npm start. Okay, the port is being moved. Okay, yes. So the browser is getting loaded. So I'll click on fetch data. So you can see the list of employees. This is nothing but the list items, that li whatever we saw here. So the list of items get displayed over here. So that is what we have given, item dot employee name. Okay, so this is your 10th program. I hope this is clear. Thank you.